राधा माधव कुंज बिहारी गोपी जना वल्लभा गिरिवरधारी यशोदानंदन व्रज जनरंजन यशोदानंदन व्रज जनरंजन यमुना तीरा वनचारी पावन हरिनाम संकीर्तन की श्रील प्रभुपाद की ओम ज्ञानतिमिरन्धस्य ज्ञानाञ्जनशलाकया चक्षुरुन्मीलितं येन तस्मै श्रीगुरवे नमः। श्रीचैतन्यमनोभीष्टं स्थापितं येन भूतले स्वयं रूपः कदा मह्यं ददाति स्वपदान्तिकं। वन्देऽहं श्रीगुरो श्रीयुतपदकमलं श्रीगुरून् वैष्णवांश्च श्रीरूपं साग्रजातं सहगणरघुनाथान्वितं तं सजीवं साद्वैतं सावधूतं परिजनासहितं कृष्णचैतन्यदेवं श्रीराधा कृष्णपादान् सहगणललिता श्रीविशाखान्वितांश्च नमो विष्णुपादाय कृष्णपृष्ठाय भूतले श्रीमते भक्तिवेदान्तस्वामिन्निति नामिने। नमस्ते सारस्वते देवे गौरवाणी प्रचारिणे निर्विशेषशून्यवादी पाश्चात्यदेशतारिणे वाञ्छाकल्पतरुभ्यश्च कृपा सिन्धुभ्य एव च पतितानां पावनेभ्यो वैष्णवेभ्यो नमो नमः। जय श्री कृष्ण चैतन्य प्रभु नित्यानंद श्री अद्वैत गदाधर श्रीवासादि गौर भक्त वृंद। हरे कृष्णा 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 हरे हरे, हरे राम 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 हरे हरे। ओम नमो भगवते वासुदेवाय। ओम नमो भगवते वासुदेवाय। ओम नमो भगवते वासुदेवाय। ओम नमो भगवते वासुदेवाय। नमस्कृत्य नरं चैव नरोत्तमं देवीं सरस्वतीं व्यासं ततो जयमुदीरये। नष्टप्रायेषु भद्रेषु नित्यं भागवत सेवया भगवत्युत्तमश्लोके भक्तिर्भवति नैष्ठिकी। कृष्णाय वासुदेवाय देवकी नन्दनाय च नन्दगोपकुमाराय गोविन्दाय नमो नमः। So all of you can see it? Mataji, that's what you can see it? Yeah. Those are sitting close to wall, they can see it also. Who are these devotees? Who are these two personalities? So you want Sanskrit or English? Which one I should put? Sanskrit, all right? Okay. Vayam brisham tatra mahanilambuhe Nihanyamana mahurambu samplave Visho vidanto thaparasparam vane Vihita hastaha paribhabrimāturaha. All Prabhujis together. Vayam brujam tatra mahanilambudhe Nihanyamana maghurambu samplave Vishovidantoth parasparam vane Vihita hasta paribhabrimāturaha. All Matajis together. You want English? Yeah. So Vayam means we, that is Krishna is telling to Sudama. Sudama, myself and yourself. Vrisham means Bhankaram. Tatra Mahan Ilambubir. There was a Bhankara flood which came in the forest. And Nihanyamana Mahurampu Samplave. Actually, we both were caught up in that. in two different places, and we could not stop the water. It was going beyond the knee and the hip. So much water, river, due to the heavy hailstorm. Visho Avidanto, we lost the direction. We lost the direction, and Parasparam, at that time I was calling your name, you were calling my name, Sudama, Kana, like that, we were calling each other. And then once we found each other in the darkness of the jungle, it was actually a night where lightning was in the sky and clouds were dark and it was heavily showering and there was a river flood in the forest. They both had gone on the order of Parimabri Mathura. Mathura means the instruction given by their Guru Mata to bring firewood. So they had gone to the forest and they lost the direction. They became frightened. They were small Gurukul boys. And Grihita Hasta, once they met each other and they were catching each other's hands like this, as you see here. So in this picture you see Krishna and Sudama. So they are catching one hand with each other and then other hand they are carrying. Grihita Hasta means catching each other's hand. Paribabri Matra means carrying the firewood as ordered by the mother, Guru Mata, like that. So this has a very deep significance. Our ISKCON's motto is more devotees, devotees. So this catching of the hand is happy devotees. And bringing the firewood is more devotees. So this picture depicts a very great lesson for us. When we are living in a Vaishnava community, we should learn the art of loving relationships with the devotees. At the same time, one should not forget the missionary activities like book distribution, Harinam Sankirtan, Prasadam distribution, preaching, making new devotees. Sometimes it is seen that you are too busily engaged in missionary activities. Now, how many books distributed? How many new devotees made? How many new preaching programs started? Somebody is starting prasadam distribution. Everybody is busy and nobody has any time to be with each other. Or they have no time to attend any lecture or anything. They say that we are not panditas sitting and hearing lecture. We are into service. So they go to this extreme of the pendulum. And the other extreme of the pendulum is, they give more emphasis on family values and, we should take care of mother, father, take care of wife and children, take care of the job, take care of your good health, take Ayurvedic medicine and do some yoga and pranayama, keep your body fit, sleep early, rise early. Shanti se jiyo, Kushi se jiyo, Prem se jiyo. So then they just take care of whom? Themselves only. Me and my family, that's all. They live. So then in that case, sometimes when you do that, family is happy, neighbors are happy, you have nice friendships with devotees, you just come together, but the community never grows. It becomes stagnated. So there's a stagnation community because unless we preach and bring in new people, the community cannot be added more. We can't add more, isn't it? It is a fact that if you are a happy devotee attracts others, definitely. But attracting alone is not enough. You have to cultivate also. Like if you get seeds, that's not enough. You have to sow the seed, water it, fence it, give sunlight, then only it will grow. Every one of us, we grew in our spiritual life, not because somebody just touched and left us. Somebody has groomed us. Somebody gave lectures, they gradually elevated us from ABC to forming words, and then PUT, put, BUT, but. Oh, why? Is BUT not but? No. So that is how PUT is put and BUT is but. So the same manner in Krishna consciousness, many questions come. Why this? Why that? Why not this? So they took us from making words to prose order, and then now we are singing now, and we are dancing also now. Up to the point of writing poetry. So we have grown in our life because somebody has watered us and grown us like growing a plant. In the same manner, these two activities are very important. Missionary activities to expand the movement on one hand, and taking our time to cultivate loving relationships with devotees on the other hand. So they are giving importance to both. Please read it, one of you. Translation. Constantly.
Besieged by the powerful wind and rain, we lost our way amidst the flooding waters. We simply held each other's hands in great distress, wandered aimlessly around the forest.
Because they didn't know how to get out of the forest. Because there was water everywhere all around. So here in the picture you are seeing Krishna catching the hand of Uddhava and speaking. Uddhava is a pure devotee of Krishna and a cousin of Krishna. He also has a bluish complexion. And Uddhava is a student of Brihaspati also. There's one famous verse which says, Krishnenam pravaro mantri Krishnasya daita saka Shishyo Brihaspate sakshat Uddhavo buddhi sattamaha. Like that, there's a verse in Srimad Bhagavatam. This Uddhava, it is said buddhi sattamaha means he is extraordinary intelligence he has. It is said. And he was a mantri of Krishna, one of the minister of Krishna. And Daita Saka is also a very dear friend of Krishna, cousin of Krishna. And he is a Shishya of Brihaspati. So Krishna is choosing him and telling him that Uddhava, I was looking for a very confidential associate who can do one service on my behalf. He said, wherever devotees called me, I don't avoid going to that place. Because Yatra Kayanti Madbhakta, I definitely go there. But there is one place where even after my being called, I am not going. And that place is Badrinath. There are many sages there who are inviting me, but I am not able to go there. Now I am going to return back to Godhead. Very soon, I am going to Prabhasa Kshetra and going to, conclude his pastimes and go back to Godhead. So he said, I have one very important duty for you. You go to Vrindavan and then return back to me and tell me what you learned in Vrindavan. And then you should go to Badrinath and teach those sages Vraja Bhakti. Because they know everything except that you should teach. So, Uddhava actually is a very, very exalted soul. He went to Vrindavan, few months he stayed, and Krishna gave him one chit. And he said, you go and explain this to the gopis, and especially gopis and all the Vajabasis. The chit contained only one line. Since I am present in the heart of everybody as Antaryami, the soul can never be separated from me. That's all. That's only one line. And Uddhava took that and explained it for 3 months, elaborately, what it means to gopis. Every day he gave class along with Krishna's pastimes also. So, and then Uddhava came back and Krishna heard about the Vajabasis and then he sent him to Badrinath after that. So, here you find the Krishna Uddhava's very dear friendship. And again, coming back to Krishna Sudama, see how Guru is pleased with the disciples. You can repeat this verse. Aho he puttakayuyam asmadharteti dukkitaha atma vai praninam preshthas samanadritya matpara. Sandipani Muni said, oh my children, you have suffered so much for my sake. The body is most dear to every living creature. But you are so dedicated to me that you completely disregarded your own comfort. So, if you become a disciple of Guru, for the sake of Guru, you are supposed to give your body, a mind and words. Like you all know the story of Aruni, correct? No? He was told by his Guru to block the waters. But when he went to block the water, it was so much over flooding. He wasn't able to stop it, so he put himself, correct? No? Later on, the Guru was worried about the boy. He went with the other disciples and then he saw, this fellow is lying himself like to block the water. A whole body had become frozen. So, this is not the only pastime. This is well-known pastime, I told you. But there are many, many pastimes where the disciple has given body, mind, soul for the Guru's sake, Guru's pleasure. So, that's why here he is saying, Atma vai praninam preshtas. Very similar to Prahlad Maharaj, he is also saying here. Prahlad says, night when we go to bed, in case there are mosquitoes in your area, you make sure that you use a mosquito net. Inside that, you make sure that you make 1 bed, 2 bed, 3 bed, especially if it is a winter season. You make it thick enough, you put a mattress or things like that. Then for covering your 2 more blankets, you keep everything. And You want to make sure that the light is not too much for the eyes, it's not bright, and you make sure the temperature is good. Some people put some perfume also, huh? So it will be very nice. Huh? So you create a very favorable atmosphere for your sleep. Prahlad Maharaj says, just as you take care of yourself, you take care of the Lord, he says. Huh? Apply the same principle in serving the Lord. When it comes to taking prasad or taking rest or making a house or creating some facility for oneself, everybody in this world is very attentive. So here he saying, Atma vai praninam preshtas, tam anadritya matpara. So you boys have disregarded your own comfort for serving me. Like that he is saying. So Guru is very pleased. Like for example, Srila Prabhupada did so much sacrifice, couple of heart attacks on the way, going to America in old age. And after he went there, not that there were 1,000 Vaishnavas, Hare Krishna, welcoming him. He was totally new to the place, and he had a big struggle in New York, in freezing cold winter, going out and trying to preach to new people, uninterested people. 1 year, nothing happened actually. I heard recently somebody say that Prabhupada would in between go to the Jaladutta company and ask when is the next ship going to India, because many of his goddesses are calling him. And he also considered it, but he could not somehow return back because his inner calling to serve the Guru was so strong. So, and then he started preaching, and in great helplessness, he went to the park under a tree. He started the kirtan. And then the hippies joined with their respective instruments, and many of them started dancing. And Prabhupada was amazed for the first time, success by spreading the holy name. And then he came to his storefront and then brought some of the hippies with him. 3 classes he started in a week, alternate days. So he started some Sanskrit class in the beginning because hippies were interested in Sanskrit, some of them. And then after a couple of months, he stopped the Sanskrit and started regular Krishna conscious classes. He cooked prasad, gave them gulab jamun and varieties of Indian cuisine prasad, which hippies ate with great taste. And they started liking the Indian cuisine prasad and Prabhupada's kirtan. And they couldn't understand the class so much, but something they understood, the beginning. That's how the movement got started. But a big struggle. So the hippies were deeply touched by the sacrifices made by Prabhupada. This Swamiji has come from India, he is an old man, he had a couple of heart attacks, he has a Bengali accent in English. Although he has difficulty in conveying what he wants to say to us, still they knew that he is a good soul. He's not a cheater like many cheaters came to the West in those days. He's a good soul. And they saw him like a father, spiritual father. So they had a lot of respect and appreciation for him. And then those sacrifices. So here comes one important question. So when the hippies saw this, that Prabhupada is sacrificing, so the sacrifices touch our heart, like our parents have done some sacrifice for us. That touches our heart because they have done selflessly sacrifices. Similarly, See, Prabhupada's by dependence of Prabhupada and hippies to get storefront, isn't it? And many times Prabhupada didn't know about the situation of America, hippies helped him. Huh? We will get a storefront for you, Swamiji. We will also arrange accommodation for you. And then we will fix programs for you in different places in the hippies area where they were staying. And Lower East Side, arranging programs for him. Later on, in Avalon Ballroom, the hippies like Allen Ginsberg came with Prabhupada. So Prabhupada depended on them because they were localites and they knew the American situation. And so because Swamiji depended on them, their affection for Swamiji increased. And they depended on Swamiji to learn more about spiritual knowledge. They were coming 3 times in a week. So when there is no dependence, there is no development of love. For example, say when you were a small baby, like look at the small babies in the lap of the parents, they totally depend on the. All of you think for a moment when you are born, you are just opening eyes, kwa, 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 with the hands legs moving. Totally dependent on parents. You can't do anything. You need to drink breast milk, and after that, what do you do? Go to sleep. That's all. We don't do any work, isn't it? Totally dependent. So children's dependence on parents, and later on, when you grow up, then parents become dependent on you. My father was telling when he was in his last days. So he was telling our life is like, 4 quadrants, he was telling in life. So in the first quadrant, he said, you are a baby, you depend on your parents to grow. And then they take you to school, they put you in college, they give you money, they arrange everything for you until you get a job and get stable, correct now? Then there is second part of life where, the parents see that the boy has grown beyond their shoulder and the boy is accepting challenges in life and he has become like a friend now. Father feels the son is like a more of a friend because he's grown. Like father says, I have my wife. Son says, I also have my wife now. You know, don't think only you have family. I also have family. Correct, no? So, and then in the third phase of life, the father gradually hands over the control to the son. If it is a business or if it is property handling and doing many of the household things, because the son has grown up, he has a family. And so the father was earlier having control. Beta kitna paisa chahiye? He was giving. Now the father has handed over to the son everything, isn't it? Now the son leads the home. Third phase, where the father's material activities reduce, is spiritually becoming more this thing. Then he was telling in the last phase of life, the father and mother, they become like children of the son. They are almost bedridden, or they have to be taken to hospital, or sometimes they are bedridden, they have to be served. So he said earlier, they took care of the son like a baby. Now the son is taking care of them like a baby, he said. And then he was telling, because the parents depend on the son gets a chance to express affection to the parents. Because the dependence, exudes affection. Like Lord Rama depended on the Vanaras for building Setupura. Imagine Lord Rama said, you Vanaras, you think you can help me? Don't you know I am in the heart of all jivas as Antaryami? I can just block one of the arteries of Ravana and cause him an heart attack, massive heart attack, and I can finish him. And immediately, if I just think in my mind, I say immediately Sita will be here with me next moment. I am managing and controlling millions of universes. What is it so great for me to get Sita? You guys don't be so proud. Just relax, if he says. All the wanderers will think, our hands are itching for some service. No service. On the other hand, when Lord Rama asked the Vanaras, can you please help me build a Setuban? They said, why not? We are here only for Seva, my dear Lord, give us. So everybody took the big, big boulders and built the, Setuban. And after that, the Lord asked, can you please help me with the battle? They said, we are here for that only. We are very happy. So they picked up the trees and boulders and threw and fought the battle to the best of their ability. And then they won also in the battle. So the idea is, like Lord Rama depended on the Vanaras, Prabhupada said, I depended on the hippies, and you are like my Vanaras. He depended on them. And that increased their affection for Prabhupada also. And similarly, they also knew that we want to help Swamiji, but we are not able to fulfill his expectations. So one day Prabhupada saw after the Guru Puja, hippies were missing. Where are they? So he took his stick and went out to the temple and looked at the next donut shop. And they were all eating ice cream. Some of them are smoking also. They thought we can take a cigarette break after Guru Puja. They thought like, they were sitting and eat. And then they saw Prabhupada peeping into the shop when he was going under the table. They were doing like that, you know. And Prabhupada laughed. He understood. Actually, they love me, but they're not able to follow the rules that I have put. You know that like our in Bible it is said, the flesh is weak, but the spirit is strong, it is said. The conditionings are too much sometimes. So they're struggling with their conditionings, poor fellows. At least they're making an effort. So gradually they could control their senses and become serious devotees. Correct now? So in this way, they knew that with respect to spirituality, we can't catch up with this Swamiji. He's very advanced. But at the same time, they tried to follow in his footsteps according to his teachings. So therefore, Prabhupada's relation with them became very close. Like for example, Prabhupada would go to the kitchen and cook. One time there was a marriage of one of his disciples. So everybody was cooking. That side there were 4 5 Matajis cooking. This side Prabhupada was cooking. And Prabhupada, I think it's going off. Hare Krishna. Prabhupada made like 12, 14 items he made alone. And Matajis put together could make only 5, 6 items. He was very fast also. So one item Prabhupada was making, he called some of them to help. He said, you have to make round rasamalai, like that. So they're supposed to make round one, small one. Some of the Matas made some big, some small. Prabhupada would knock it off. He said, all of them should look the same size. And then Prabhupada should just say, how I have made. You have to make it like that. And they're wondering how Swamiji just picks up atta and does like this, exactly comes round. He has a magic in the hand. Nothing big, nothing small. They were very amazed. So in this way, they saw his speed, they saw his talent, they saw his devotional power. They were very charmed. One day he asked one of those ladies, Nandarani, you're cooking in the kitchen. Do you know why I gave you a name, the Nandarani? She said, I don't know, Prabhupada. I only know that you gave me the name Nandarani. That's all I know. I don't know anything more than that. She said, Nandarani means Yashodamaya. So Yashodamaya is cooking in the kitchen, but all the while she is remembering Krishna in the back of her heart. My Kana will eat this and he'll be very happy, he'll be very delighted. Tomorrow when he goes to forest, I'll pack and give him. So she's thinking like that. So Prabhupada said, since you are Nandarani's Dasi, you are Rashoda's servant, assistant. So while you are cooking, you should think the same way Yashoda thinks, he said. And then Nandarani Mataji says, after Prabhupada told me that, I felt as though I am a Vrajabasi. I am one of the gopis in Vrindavan who is assisting Yashoda Maya in the kitchen. So in this way, Prabhupada made them feel Krishna conscious when Prabhupada was interacting with them. So he gave them devotional power and they gave him material facilities, amenities, everything. It was a very good combination. Prabhupada writes in 12.10 Bhagavad Gita, when you want to expand this movement, you need land, you need money, you need material, you need manpower. Actually, we need the worldly ingredients, resources, for putting up a institution, organization, facility. Like on Bagh Bazar Mutt, one of the disciples of Bhaktivinoda Thakur gave his entire life savings to build one matha. After that, Bhaktivinoda Thakur and all his disciples came and lived there. So one day he came and told Bhaktivinoda Thakur, said, my dear Guru Maharaj, my bank balance is totally zero, empty. I have given everything. So if you can allow me to live in one of the rooms, I can live. He said, most welcome, come. He also lived in the same matha only. So here is example of a disciple who gave his whole earning and existence completely. And there are people who, our Prabhupada also told his guru that your disciples are all sannyasis and brahmacharis. In front of them, I feel I am a grihastha with 5 sons. How I can be of some service to you. And then he told the same thing to him. You should go to the Western world and preach this message in English language. And then Prabhupada always used to ask, how can I serve you? How can I serve you? So in 1936, Prabhupada wrote one letter asking for good instruction. And he gave the same instruction again. And then within 2 weeks, his guru passed away after that. So Prabhupada thought, my Lord, how blessed I am. Before leaving the world, he has given me the same instruction, 3rd time now. Now he took it as his life and soul. And then later on, 1965, he executed the instruction so powerfully. So when you make sacrifices, see the next point. When morning walks, Srila Prabhupada gave them enlightenment on various topics, correct, no? So, what is enlightenment? It's like switching on a tube light in a dark room. Huh? In dark room, you have fear. There may be some scorpions or snakes or something. But when light is on, you are fearless. Huh? So, in the hippies, what Prabhupada's style of speaking was, he wasn't just a very religious person. Huh? He was a person who could blend science and spirituality. Huh? He brought topics like Darwin. He brought topics like Big Bang. He brought topics of, operator of the cosmic machine versus operator of the bodily machine. Many things he talked was right here and now you can apply. Huh? That kind of topics. And he cleared, and also he was very, very non-sectarian and secular in presentation. Anybody from any religion can understand what he's speaking. He talks in terms of God, the soul, what is sin. Sin means disobedience to God. Huh? And so his language was so simple, without bringing too much of uh, religiosity into it. Huh? Because his presentation was so secular, so he could go to the churches and speak to priests. Huh? Anywhere he could go. One time, Prabhupada went to some Buddhist mutt, huh? and he asked that Buddhist Guruji, huh, that he told in the lecture that non-violence is good, or normally we adopt non-violence, but there is also a place for violence. And then he asked this Guru, what do you think about it? He said, no, I don't agree that we should always be non-violent, he said. Then he asked the Guruji that, okay, you are walking in the street and some of your female disciples are also going with you, and somebody catches the hand of female disciple and pulls them. What will you do? Guruji was put to a very difficult question, huh? Thinking what to do. And there were both male and female disciples sitting in the lecture. Huh? So Guruji said, I won't take any action, he said. And all female disciples are raising their eyebrows. What is this? Huh? You will allow somebody to exploit us? Huh? So, and Prabhupada said, just see, how can you say you will not protect the woman? It's a duty of a husband to protect the wife, father to protect the daughter. So, if you are in a male guardian role, you have to protect. For protection, there may be need for violence. So, this much simple Prabhupada was. And once there were 40 theologians who came to meet Prabhupada. One of them said, Swamiji, you seem to be overemphasizing on God and love for God. Is it not enough that if we just have a humanitarian appreciation for all humans on earth, we are all gentlemen, we are learned in various subjects, we travel across the globe, we have a general appreciation for all humans. Is that not good enough? He asked. And Prabhupada said, you see, you may love all humans, but you cut the throat of a cow, you are cutting the throat of a chicken. Therefore, your love is incomplete love. He said, but if you love God, you will not harm even an ant. That is devotee, he said. Therefore, love God, love all. If you don't love God, your love is always incomplete. So you can see that how he spoke. Huh? So the disciples, one, you know, meeting with Prabhupada, it was so enlightening to them that he is such a simple and straightforward presenter of the truth. So therefore, when they got enlightened, Chakrudan Dilojai, yeah. So you will see Prabhupada's transparency, correct? In presentation. So because of his, without any adulteration, because Prabhupada exposed the swindlers. There is one chapter on saints and swindlers. So the hippies understood that there are many, and Prabhupada exposed one by one, who is a Mayavadi, who is a materialist, who is a Sahajya. He exposed all of them. And then he said, even you don't have to trust me unless you see, you should test the Guru also. Like, for example, you all must have done the acid test and base test in your laboratory, correct? No? It has some lakshanas, correct? No? Like we have done this endpoint experiment. You keep mixing, then it turns pink, correct? No? And you should get consecutive readings, twice or thrice, then only you finalize. So Prabhupada said there is a, for the salts, there is a test. For the biological plants, if you say this is a particular plant, the leaf should be of certain orientation, and plant should be of certain orientation. Then you say this is a such and such plant, correct? No, hibiscus or whatever. So in the same manner, just as you see lakshanas for plants and trees, you see lakshanas for acids and salts and bases. Similarly, there should be lakshana for guru also. Somebody may be a quack, somebody may be a genuine guru. So you test, and then you should have some idea of what a guru is. You can't go to a potato market and ask for diamond. They'll give you a potato and say, this is diamond, give 20 lakhs. You'll be cheated. Huh? So they will take the money for diamond, but they'll give you a potato and say, go home, this is a diamond. Huh? So you should know what is diamond, what is potato. The difference you should know. So when you are searching for a guru, you should know what you should look for. Huh? So in this way, Prabhupada was, so one transparency in presentation of Krishna conscious philosophy. Oh, sorry. You got an adult patient. Correct, no? Prabhupada's rational exposure. Hmm. Prabhupada was not sentimental or unreasonable. Huh? He had rational exposure of bogus gurus and false paths. He earned the trust of his followers, and that is how the bond became very thick. Like a child has so much trust in the mother and father. See, if your mother or father give you anything to eat in the hand, you can close your eyes and put in the mouth, correct, no? But in the train you are going, you are saying, come on, the bhaji is smelling, pakoda, samosa. So as soon as you get the smell, you feel like buying and eating. But when you eat it next day morning, you have stomachache. Because that fellow is not here to give you good health. His focus is only on your pocket. So he is focusing on pocket, mother is focusing on heart. And pocket is just above the heart. Although they are so near, still you can know the difference. Correct, no? You can clearly know that, oh, this you cannot trust these fellows. Those who are commercial fellows. They are more concerned about exploiting you. Similarly, when Prabhupada rationally exposed the bogus gurus, and he said, you can test me, whether I am following the right path or not. You can check the way I am also practicing what I am telling all of you to practice. to the rational exposure of bogus gurus and the false paths, and is transparent in presenting the correct path. Right now, see Prabhupada's soothing fatherly shelter and his availability to guide them in not only philosophy but also practical life situations, including conducting marriage and similar things in their life. Like, for example, they got a small baby now, how to raise a child in Krishna consciousness. Made them feel close, they let him like a father and father son or father daughter. So here I am talking more about guru disciple development of relationship here. Proper sacrifice, dependence, enlightenment, transparency, rational exposure, and fatherly shelter. So these are some of the things I told you about. How, there is one more we can write. See, the challenge that Prabhupada gave them thrill and opportunity, correct now? To express their Krishna consciousness. Like, for example, he sent 3 couples to London. And then initially, Malati Mataji asked Prabhupada, Swamiji, how are you having so much confidence that we can do something in London? We don't know anything. Prabhupada said, no, I'll train you in 1 week, he said. And in 1 week, what training he gave? He taught them how to play Kartal, how to do Kirtan, and how to speak basic philosophy. And then with that, they went with full trust in him. At that time, Malati Mataji had a small baby also. Malati Mataji spoke in one of the gatherings that they lived in 3 shacks. Shacks means like milk booth you've seen in India, where they have a like box kind of thing. like the 3 boxes they were living, 3 families, which was on the side of the road. Actually, in America, London, and all, many things which people don't use, they just keep it in the street for anyone to pick it up. Uh, like our boys in Boston, when I went to their flat, they had 3 tables and chairs. I said, how much you purchased for? They said, no, we got it free. Where? They keep it outside, people. They don't use something, they keep it outside. Anybody can pick up. Because it's a first world country, they have a lot of money. So the shacks were there, and nobody was occupying it, so they went and occupied it. They were living like that because they know their place to live. But in 4 months, they made 4 devotees. And then there was an article in the newspaper that Hare Krishna startles London. They did Rath Yatra also. And Prabhupada went to visit. So in this way, Prabhupada gave them challenges and they succeeded in the challenges and they developed further faith in Prabhupada's guidance. Now, why did I write down all these things? The reason I will tell you. All of you, many of you boys here, I have seen you in the boys' days. When you are in the boys' center, you were taking some responsibility. Some of you, or Chakravarti Krishna Prabhu, he was, at that time you were Chandrasekhar, right now? Yeah. He not only was leading the whole center as a PM, project manager, he helped Sadhguru Prabhu build that place also, correct now? You collected funds and that center, you established that big place, along with the many other input of the boys and everything. Mahavira Prabhu, you know, Harish Prabhu was also there, and Mahavira Prabhu was also there at that time. Sadhguru Prabhu even now fondly recollects those days and tells how much you all helped and everything. Gokul Prabhu, he stood first in India, All India rank #1, and he had a felicitation program in Pune where he addressed on some 150, 200 big people about Krishna consciousness for the first time. They were shocked. They said, we only knew your academic side, now we are getting to know your spiritual side. They were very amazed. So in this same manner, we can talk about each of them. Sharad Prabhu, he took some PDC Yellow Brigade training also he took for some time. And after that, he has been helping in preaching wherever he was, always. So every one of you here, in your college days, either you were a mentor, or you were a OC, or you were a PM, or you are IM. And in any case, voice lifestyle doesn't allow you to be on your own. You definitely get a lot of services there, isn't it? Because just like I told you here, the brahmachari comes there. My Guru Maharaj said, a voice means it's like a home. Everything that is there in a grihastha home is there except sex life, he said. Everything else is, you have to bring the cylinder, you have to cook, brahmacharis arrange all these things. We have seen that when we put up a center, many brahmacharis drive the car also. Many times they come from far away. You have to clean, wash, you have to go and get the grocery, oil, sugar, ghee, everything. Vegetable wala, you have to bargain with him and get vegetables also. Everything that you do in a home, you have to do there also. Only woman is not there. All the men are there staying together. So the brahmacharis become like mother and father for the people. And they sacrifice a lot. And there is a mutual dependence. Brahmachari needs the boys to go to college and call the boys, correct, no? And the boys depend on brahmachari for enlightenment, knowledge, guidance in spiritual life. And they are also struggling with their mind and senses. They want guidance. Similarly, so naturally there is a development of gratitude. We used to have one festival at the end called Shapat Tapas, remember? Isn't it? No. So the tapas is the tapasya done by the seniors, the juniors glorify, and some juniors even cry tears when they're leaving, correct? No? Actually, I told them that this program at least should be done for 2 hours. They said we did for 6 hours. It went till midnight. What outsiders call it as a farewell party, So after they talk about the tapas, the seniors will take shapat, correct, no? What is the shapat? Even after I marry and beget 4 children, still I will be very Krishna conscious. And I will do 10 times what I am doing now in voice, correct, no? Many of them say, for Prabhupada's movement, I will do this, I will do that. Very, that's why I gave the name Shapat. Although it is Shapat, each letter has it's an acronym, SAPAT. Similarly, Tapas also TAPAS. So I made the acronym long before. In IIT Kadakpur itself, I had made this. Because when the farewell groups were going out, we started this. We earlier had only the tapas was going on for 2-3 years. After that, shapat was introduced also, because they have taken shapat also. Otherwise, they will only receive the gratitude of everybody, but they will not take any vow for doing something. So then when you come out, then you come to the world of war, rat race. You have to get a job, you have to get promotion, bhaga, bhaga, dauda, dauda, how to climb the ladder of success and everything. And then comes the marriage, and then comes children. So now, uh, in the one of the lectures, Prabhupada says, putting up a family is more challenging than running an empire, he says. Prabhupada writes in one of the purports, he writes. Definitely it's a great challenge, but when the challenge becomes more, when we lean towards the materialistic side, when you lean towards the spiritual side, the family will not be so difficult. The family life will become very simple. I can tell you some examples. Today morning I was giving some examples. For example, you want to cover your body to wear a simple dress. It's not very costly. But you want to wear a branded dress. It's almost 4 or 5 times costly. Yeah. You want to commute from here to the temple, you want a simple Maruti car. In Maruti, how many can sit? 5 can sit, I think, right? 5 can sit. You, your wife, and 3 children also can have no problem. They can sit behind. They can go. But if you want to have a car to show to society, that may be a very simple car. Then you need a big car. So big car which blocks the entire road sometimes. People have. Then you need to spend, what you may be spending for Maruti, 20 times more you have to spend. Some people get a foreign car also, some people get. Like in America, somebody was taking me to a program. And then somebody wrote a mail to me, Prabhuji, I saw in that video, Prabhuji, nowadays you have started traveling in Tesla cars, he was saying. I said, I don't even know which was Tesla car. Then he said, Prabhuji, the door opens like this, like Garuda. The Garuda opens like this. That I said, that I observed. One car opened like this, I said. So whether you take me in a Tesla car, you take me in a bullock cart, I have to go to the program. That's the goal. But what I was saying, nowadays a lot of show off has come in society. And if you are going to flow with society, then you also have to impress your relatives, impress the society. Then you need, and if you need money, then you also have to, and if you have to slog God, you have no energy and time is not. If you know energy and time, then your contribution to Krishna becomes reduced, isn't it? So you see the logic how it happens. Kamasyanendriya pretir labho jiveta yavata jivasya tattva jigyasa narto yascheha karma bihi. This is very favorite verse of Prabhupada. Prabhupada says that, Kamasya Indriya Pritir, engage husband, wife, children, everybody engages in Krishna consciousness and they don't expand their material desires. He says. And Labho Jivate Yavata, you definitely have to earn profit. It's a duty of the husband to maintain wife, children, put up a family, get some vehicle, everything. We don't say you shouldn't do these things. These are necessary. You can't run away from responsibilities. Morning for Krishna, daytime for profession, evening for family. I always say that in lecture. At the same time, Jivasya Tattva, your Tattva Jingasa should not get reduced as you become serious about your family and profession. So there is family, profession, devotion. Out of that, the most compromised thing often is devotion. Whereas family, they will not leave you, and profession, they will not leave you. They both will catch you. And devotees are not able to catch you because you're not available many times. It's difficult to catch people. So, of course, devotees also call you, catch you, try to engage you in many times like that. But the idea is, Jiva Tattva Jigyasa, that should be remembered. Prabhupada was telling in one lecture, to convert a thatched hut into a skyscraper building is called economic development, he says. In village, one man took 25 years to make a colorful, big house. By the time he became 70, he passed away after a week. So Prabhupada said, what is the use? You built a house, but you can't take it with you and you can't stay there also. In this world, whatever great things you do, it will not remain with you. So do something that will go with you forever. That's the whole point. In America, one fellow argued with Prabhupada. Swamiji, you may say whatever you want in your lecture, but I have purchased this new car. It's a very big car. I am attached to the car. You may say, don't be attached, but I am attached. Say whatever you want. And Prabhupada said, okay, you can become a cockroach in the same car. So because you don't want to leave the car, remain in the car, but you'll be in another form next life. So you'll be just moving inside the car here and there, troubling people. Somebody may catch you and throw you. Isn't it? So attachment, mental attachment in this world will bind us. And spiritual attachment to Krishna will liberate us. And especially the man who is leading the family, he guides his wife, he guides his children, he makes the home very Krishna conscious. Actually, in my home also, my father would take lead in the festivals, whether it is Pongal, Sankranti, Janmashtami, Gokulashtami. Seeing him take lead, my mother also will do her part for Janmashtami and everything. And being children, we just follow the parents, correct, no? But if ultimately the wife cannot be blamed for anything, because wife is a dependent phenomenon. You look at the verse, Gurur na sasyat, no? Swajano na sasyat, Pita na sasyat, Daivam na sasyat, Janani na sasyat, and then Daivam na tacha, na patisha sasyat. Na mochiyet yat samupeta mrityam. So I asked the question, why wife's name is not there? They said wife cannot be blamed because husband should be responsible for the wife. Like that one Swami was telling. So the father or the husband or the guru, they are held responsible for a family's spiritual progress or non-progress. Because they are supposed to, because generally wife follows the course of the husband, Prabhupada says. Husband is very spiritual minded, wife also becomes spiritual minded. If husband is very materialistic, she cooperates with his materialism. That's how the wife flows. And children naturally follow the parents when they are very small. So that is why now, for example, the brahmacharis who are with you, some of them were your friends. Now they are inside the temple in ashram, correct now? They have joined full time there. So they went to brahmachari ashram and you came to grahastha ashram. There is a kind of separation over the years. And occasionally you may meet them. And you may say, Hari Bol, Hare Krishna, you may say that. But now they are actually trying to preach. But you can see that brahmacharis alone find it very difficult to reach Krishna consciousness to the people of the world. And grihasthas alone also cannot reach, because both have certain facilities and abilities, and they have certain deficiencies also. For example, Avadina Muchaitanya had arranged a program in IIM yesterday. When I had gone to give a program, very good program, like probably 15, 20 students had come. It's very difficult to get in place like IIM. People are super busy. So he is able to be a face by in arranging the program, act as an interface between the college and the temple. Otherwise, somebody like me in this dress, I can't go to the IIM director and say that I want to give a program. Somebody in between arranges a program. So Grihasthas have a very great power because they are a part of outside world there. They can act as an interface to help the sadhus reach the message of Krishna to the society. And that will be a very great service. So every Grihastha should make an effort to do that. So in that way, I am dependent on him. And then he is a professor in the college. Now he cannot take lead in the program for all the other professors. Professors will say, you're also one of us. How can you give us? Sometimes they will, and you're also a young professor. We are old professor, they may say. But if he takes Swarna Gauri Prabhu and puts him there, although he can give very good lectures, as good as Swarna Gauri Prabhu he can give because they are all very senior, still this dress has some weight, correct, no? People say that many professors say, oh, some Swamiji is coming. Okay, then 10, 20 professors may come. So he may organize a program, but Sonagarpu may give the program. So Sonagarpu has one strength, he has another strength. So the collaborative approach will cause dependence on each other. And together when they develop preaching, tomorrow I come, tomorrow, spiritual masters come here, they'll say, wow, we have 40 devotees chanting 16 rounds. What is this? Are we on earth or are we in Goloka? So then a lot of appreciation will come, and that will give a deep satisfaction to you that I could do something meaningful in life. So that mutual dependence will increase the affection between the devotees. And also, when you are in close touch with devotees, you will also be working on improving your enlightenment. I can tell you a real example. In Pune, I saw that many of the boys are getting married in Pune. So I started one program called as Krishna Sayanam. In those days, Bhagavatam Study Circle. It started with 5, 6, and 8, and eventually 25 couples, beginning with Krishna Kishore Prabhu, Mukundanand Prabhu, our Prajananda Prabhu, Shankar Pandit Prabhu, Tulasi Prabhu, like that people, Sundar Krishna Prabhu. So, like the 25 couples, they were a total of around 40, 50 people would be there. They would hand over the children to somebody to take care. One Mataji will be outside taking care of the children, so they don't disturb the class. So only husband, wives will be there. And we really got deep into study of the Bhagavatam. We started with different sections like Krishna Sudama. Sometimes we did Ambarish Maharaj, we did Vritrasura, we did Chitraketu, we did Dhruva, like that. Prahlad Maharaj. So different sections, we went verse by verse. I would read in advance and underline important lines in the purport, and I will tell them, see the 6th line, see the 8th line. And underline the portion, we would fluff and discuss. And many times Krishna Prabhupada would contribute, Mukundan would contribute. They would be thrilled. They will ask some questions also. Then I will answer. If I had difficulty understanding anything, I would ask my seniors like Radha Gopinath Prabhu and check back and come back to them. And this we very, very perfectly did it every month, 2 hours, and the crowd started increasing. So it became difficult for us to control. It was only 25 couples before. Eventually, many people got the news, and I told them, see, this is only for people whom I cultivated personally. I know them. And many others want to join. They said, Prabhuji, we'll sit outside the conference room. Huh? We will sit in the Prasadam hall and listen. So one day I just went out of conference hall to see, my Lord, it was 150 people outside. Huh? They had put a speaker also there. Then I told these people, Prabhu, now we have been almost doing for 8-10 years. Huh? So after that, I told them, now we will make it Krishna Sayanam in the Prasadam hall. Huh? There 400-500 people would come. After that, I made it a monthly program. And these guys were absent. Huh? I asked, hey, where are you guys? And for you only, I started it. Prabhuji, nowadays crowd becomes too much. It's not very good. Then I understood one thing. Unless you do something for a specific audience. Now also Pune, I have a slate program. In Pune, I made a list of 160 leaders. I wanted all the fellows to come, leaders. But out of that, only 80 are coming. And all the big leaders are missing in that. And why they are not coming? Because they feel that our counsellors are going, how we can also go and sit there. It's little, it causes some uneasiness for them, because they can't ask questions very freely. Then I did one thing in Atmaram Karampu's house. I started monthly one program. That's only for the senior fellows. Again, the same old group. Now everybody comes running for that program. In fact, they all like each other also very much. Their wives also connect very strongly. And husbands also connect with one another. They're all thick friends. They sit in circle and so much laughter, so much joy after the prasad. And 1 month, if I cancel it, they will cry. They will say, Prabhuji, last month, why you cancelled? I used to tell them, you guys come together amongst yourself. They said, that is another program we are already doing. You don't have to test. We are anyway coming together one more time in a month. But your program is our relation with you. And that program is our relationship with each other. Yeah. So the two programs every month they are doing like that, going to the homes of others. And they say that otherwise we are all like apex in a pyramid. Every time we see people below us, people below you will always catch your 2 feet and pull you down. Because they are below you, they can pull you. But somebody above you will catch your shika and pull you up. So you need the senior association and also equal association, peer and superior. Because peers are very frank. They will not hide you. They will openly tell you that you need to improve this. How many of you experience? Correct, no? Yeah. That's what it is, that peers may pierce you. No? Correct. And that piercing is good for you. They will help you improve also. And superiors will instruct you. These two are very important for you. And recently in my travels, one place, I was speaking about Prabhupada saying that how when you take the diamond from the hills and put it in a box and put the plug on, they polish each other. Correct? I was telling that example. And then later on, after 4 hours, you remove it, you find very polished diamond. So in the same manner, when devotees come together, some sparks come and all events. So one couple met me privately and they told me after the program was over, Prabhu, we are very sorry to say, although we are about 10-20 couples, we come here to the temple to serve and all, we never have felt any sparks because we have not evolved to that stage till now, where the sparks can come. Which means we are too formal with each other. Haribol Prabhu, Hare Krishna, everything is all right. How is climate? Haribol, and then go back. That's all we have. We have not come close. So there are 3 stages. A stage where you are super formal. With your senior also, you go and offer a big obeisance, put a big garland, and by the time he opens his eyes, you are gone. Yeah, only Guruji got a garland, that's all he got. And you ask, hey, where is that fellow who put a garland? He's busy, he has to go to office now. So with Guruji, that is the relationship. And with your fellow equals super formal. Hare Krishna, that's all. So that is the lower stage. And then there is a stage where you ask sincere questions to Guru, which you are undergoing, you are struggling. Because while practicing Krishna consciousness, we face many struggles, and getting answers to that and then growing out of those struggles is what gives you advancement. Similarly, when you meet the equals, when you get closer and closer, there will be some quarrels. Actually, if the relationship is one of love, there has to be quarrel. If there is no quarrel, there is some problem. You will see that. Even Radha Krishna have problems. They quarrel many times. But that quarrel eventually leads to more thick, loving relationship. Similarly, in when you come together very closely and serve, render service together, read Bhagavatam together, then when the new temple came in NVCC, lot of grihasthas came. At that time, you know, grihasthas earlier thought that if you all come very close to temple, we can easily go to temple and we can take care of each other. But coming close together has two possibilities. One is we may start finding fault with each other and sparks will come, or we may eventually take help from each other and be, very strong also. Both are possible. So in the neophyte stage, they created sparks and they became more mature. Now they all cry, they cannot be separated. My sister's in Canada now. She tells me that I want my son to quickly finish off his study and job for a couple of years. She's just looking forward for the time to come back. In the same manner, many people who have lived in Pune, wherever they went, they're saying, when are you going to come back and stay in that company? And they have a very strong feeling because the network of Matajis together and Prabhujis amongst themselves, that has created a close-knit family. It's more than a material family. Because the material family also, material things may be done. In spiritual family, you are preparing for the eternal world where you are going to live with similar family there. So the spiritual dependence on one another and the enlightenment that you get, gratitude, respect, love, all these things awaken. And the more we are transparent in our relationship and not just superficial, formal, just make sure relationship. And then when you rationally hear the philosophy, and there are many doubts which are lingering in our minds, and not clearing those doubts, you just bury those doubts. Over a period of time, you will see it eats up your Krishna consciousness. That's why Arjuna used the word Madhu Sudana. If you don't destroy the doubts. I heard a story. Once a fellow was roaming in a sanctuary. In the sanctuary, you are not supposed to kill any animals. So this fellow had captured a fox. So he wanted to kill that fox. By the time the king was coming in a horse, tak, 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 tak. So he wanted to, actually, because he had already captured and he had tied it behind his back, he tied it. So he immediately took it and put it inside. And he covered like this. King came and, good morning, king. And he spoke very normally. King asked, how is everything? He said, the hunter said, I'm just walking here, nothing else. I'm just going for a stroll. As the king was speaking, suddenly this fellow collapsed like this, the ground. King was shocked. Kya ho gaya iska? Because the fox ate up his inside. It ate up his body inside. Similarly, the doubts will eat you up from inside. If you don't get them clear, you may hide them. You may look like a gentle devotee, like, I'm all right, everything all right. Immediately it'll eat up. Suddenly one day, a person bloops. You see, no? The blooping people are people who have hidden the doubts. They have not exposed and asked. That is why Prabhupada rationally exposed the bogus gurus and false paths. There should not be just superficial, formal relationship. One of the brahmachari seniors was telling me he was cultivating one boy. The boy earlier from his childhood, it seems he was going to this Puttaparthi, this thing. So this senior preacher did not say anything about this. Puttaparthi, he didn't say anything about it. He was cultivating. So he thought that now I will not tell. Slowly I will tell. And then he brought this boy to even 16 rounds of chanting. And then this boy was planning to join the ashram. So one day this boy came and said, Prabhuji, I have earned enough money. Now I am ready to join ashram. And then he asked him, can I take you to Radheshyam, Prabhu? We can talk. And he said, no, no, Prabhuji, I already told you. From childhood, I am connected that I am joining that ashram. He said, which ashram? He said, going to Sai Baba ashram. And then the senior devotee came and asked me that, Prabhuji is saying like this, what to say? I said, you have left the elephant and catching the tail. I told him, you cannot catch the tail from behind, it will run away. You cannot catch. So, because you didn't rationally expose who are the real saints and how one should not make a man into God, Prabhupada is very straightforward. So, it is always better to be straightforward, but at the same time, you can be as polite as possible. But the truth, that you must speak. See, the truth is like the product, and your sensitive speech is like package. So, package is good, but you cannot give a package without the product. I am only sensitive, but I will not speak the truth. You are just cheating them. Correct, no? We ask you for a Bisleri bottle. You politely come and give me an empty Bisleri bottle. Prabhuji here. I said, Hare, I asked you for water. No, Prabhuji, you only wanted Bisleri bottle. Huh? So your Bisleri bottle is like your sensitive behavior, but the water is not inside. So the product is very important. Truth you must speak, but you have to present it in a, according to Deshkala Patra, present it in the proper way. And Prabhupada was rational in exposure of such things. And also, uh, when one example I'll tell you, in America, for example, the children are given too much respect in their laws, that one lady from India, one old lady, grandmother, she was taken to America. The son took her to America because he thought, I'll show my mother how my life is. So he wanted to show the house and everything. This grandmother of this child, I mean, it's like a small kid. He's about 6 or 7 years old, and then his father, and then that lady is that father's mother. She had gone there. So one day, this lady, while playing with the child, she scolded the child for something and gave a slap to the child like this. And immediately, the child called the cops. You know, immediately police came. Who is that who abused you? We are going to arrest you now. Yeah. And the lady was wondering. She was shouting at the police, "Hey, get lost! Who are you to arrest me?" And the son came running and said, "Mom, don't behave with them like this." And he politely explained to them. They said, "No, no, 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 you have to come to this thing." And the lady was surprised. What is this? In India, very normally you slap, kick, and everything you do. You beat and everything. She was not used to that. So in America, sometimes the children can take parents to task. Huh? If parents don't do what the children want, then they can even tell the parents, "I will sue you in the court." Huh? So because of such kind of fear, uh, you find that the parents' relationship with the children doesn't develop in a very organic, natural way. Correct? No? Because children don't depend on the parents. Hmm? So when there is no dependence, can you show love? You cannot show love. In the same manner, husband, wife, if you see, I know one boy did IIT and then IIM. He was a topper. Both the places he got into a very big company. But his parents wanted him to get married to one girl in their relative. And this girl happened to be in a village, very simple girl. The Brahmani family, going to temple, very, very sanskar, very good sanskar she got. So when he got married, this girl from the village was so simple. She considered her husband like God, because he's from IIT, he's from IIM, he's a highly qualified man, he's in a very big job. So she was very submissive. And you will see that when there is such a submissiveness in the wife, the husband feels very greatly, what do you call it, sheltered in such a family. And the wife also is treated properly by the husband. It's a very happy family. Like, no, like my mother actually is fifth standard pass, that's all. My father has a dozen degrees. He has triple MA in English and triple MS in maths and everything. Two LLB, LLM and all he has done. Many, many degrees like that. So I asked my father, how did you marry such a simple girl? You are so highly qualified. So he was telling, actually, I was not looking for qualification alone in a woman. She should have the qualities of an ideal woman. So then you will see, then it is a happy family. Imagine if a wife says, okay, you are engineer, I'm also engineer. You are drawing so much salary, I'm also drawing equal amount of salary. You wear jeans and t-shirt, I can also wear jeans and t-shirt. So you think I depend on, I don't depend on you, I can stand on my own leg. Then when there is no dependence of wife on the husband, then the family is not a very pleasant family. But the husband is superior not to exploit the wife. But the husband is supposed to protect the sheltered wife. Then it is a happy family. Similarly, so brahmacharis join the temple ashram, grihasthas live outside. Grihasthas and brahmacharis are supposed to mutually depend on each other in a certain way. The example is given by Madhvacharya. The example is given of a fish. The grihasthas are compared to uh, a pond, and brahmacharis are compared to fish. Because if there are impurities in the pond, like stool and other things, the fish will swallow them and destroy them. And the pond will be maintained clean. Similarly, grihasthas who are going to offices and industries and other things, they bring a lot of stool from bad association. And when there are classes, when sadhus come and they discuss Srimad Bhagavatam and everything, all those contaminations are taken away. Of course, it's not that sadhus take it and keep it with them. Actually, the sun evaporates the urine, but sun doesn't get contaminated. Similarly, the sadhus are putting Krishna in the center. Krishna takes away the contamination. So that way the bond will maintain. So those grihasthas who are strongly connected to sadhus, you will also see them very advanced and very strong also. Like many of the Prabhupada disciples, those who were grihasthas also, how they became strong? Because they were strongly connected to Prabhupada. They became very strong grihasthas also later on. And just as the fish depends on the water, can the fish will live without water? Similarly, the brahmachari sannyasis, they don't earn money, they don't do job, but they are maintained by the charity given by the grihasthas. So grihasthas give charity by which they become detached, and they become more purer. And brahmachari sannyasis give knowledge, and they give realizations and everything, which benefits the grihasthas to become more spiritually advanced. And the brahmacharis don't have to worry about maintenance and everything. So these people are giving charities. Prabhupada, many places says you have to give 50% of your earning. How many of you have read it in Prabhupada purports? Correct, no? Anybody didn't read it? You missed it, any of you? Huh? Isn't it? So you read it, but you don't follow it. And that's why you will see many times many of the grihasthas, they may be initiated, they may be around for 5 years, 10 years, 20 years, 30 years also. But the progress doesn't come because the contamination is not removed. Contamination is removed as you give the charity. Because when you give charity, you feel some pinch also. Like brahmacharis cannot connect with women. So they also feel some pinch in the early days until they become purified. There is a desire to connect with women and talk to women and get closer, but they cannot. They'll be told, hey, if you're getting closer, get married. So they have to get have the pinch of not connecting with the opposite sex and controlling the senses. In the same manner, for the grihasthas, the most dear thing is money. Money is honey. Because with money only you can make a house. With money only you can buy a car. With money only you can satisfy the demands of the wife and children. With money only you can get good clothes and everything. Without money, you cannot do it. From that money, if you say remove 50% and give, some people even faint also. And they hear that, isn't it? But I generally tell people you should give 10-20% of your earning at least if you cannot give 50%. And Prabhupada's idea was if one gives 50%, they won't have any money much to enjoy sense gratification. Then they have to be like brahmacharis only. I mean, coming to temple and spending most of the time there. That was Prabhupada's idea. And you still can save money also. So, in this way, the grihasthas give charity and maintain the saintly order. The saintly order doesn't bother about money, going with a suitcase and collecting money from people. That's a very horrible thing. You can focus on studying the Srimad Bhagavatam, Bhagavad Gita, and faithfully worship the deities and preach the Shastras to students and corporates and grihasthas and everybody, and lead a saintly life. The purity is the sannyasira alpachidra, sarvalokaga, it is said. Sannyasi or brahmachari, they have to be clean in their character, pure in their habits, sincere in their devotion. That is actually a good example. Many grihasthas will think that this person, he doesn't require anything material for his survival. He is just chanting, dancing, and so happy. They should get inspired to become more serious in spiritual life. And that way, and then only the grihasthas feel shelter in the saintly order. Imagine if the brahmacharis carry a suitcase and go and cultivate big shots and bring money, and they tell the grihasthas, we don't need your money. Hamare paas hai paisa. We are more richer than you also. If they say like that, then grihasthas also keep their money with themselves. Who advances in spiritual life? Nobody advances. Just see. On the other hand, brahmachari should be like fakir. They should not have a single penny in their pocket. One time in those days, me and Gausundar Prabhu, we booked a cab and went. Then I told him, yeah, give the money. He said, Prabhuji, I thought you will have money. I said, I thought you will have money. Both of us, our pockets were empty. So he told Prabhuji, in your classes you taught us we should not have any money. Therefore, I didn't carry anything, he said. Then he told the driver, please tomorrow, we will arrange to give you. And he put trust in us. Then the next day he came to the temple and took it. So, sadhu should be so transparent, simple. Instead of possessing money in their pocket, they should possess Krishna in their pocket. Then only they can possess and give. So, and not only that, there should be challenges for you to get thrill in your life. In Pune, there is one Achyutakesha Prabhu from IIT, Kharagpur. He is one example. There are many examples like that. He goes with his entire counseling group to a shopping mall and he talked to the owner. Sir, can we put a table just outside your shopping mall? And we can, display these books and everything. Some shopping mall owner said, why outside? Why can't you put it inside? We have so much place available. You are all doing a very good work. Please come. And then he is seeing, Prabhuji and his wife and lot of Matajis, lot of children, boys, girls, everybody is there. Somebody is playing mridanga, and somebody is singing, children are giving out prasadam packets. Some children are giving out cards, and others are showing books and talking to people. And they also got second prize, I think. Second or third prize they got. Lot of, almost every evening for 3 hours, 4 hours during the marathon month they were distributing. 50,000. So in this way you will find that, when grahastas become counselors, and then one of you become a counselor tomorrow or a mentor, and then you guide 30, 40 people, they are going to be super inspired. And all of you boys, you got very good philosophy during your college days, correct? No, you got the foundation of the philosophy very well, so that is very, very deeply well grounded. So with that philosophy, along with the support of wife, you continue the practice and accept some challenges. Challenges like book distribution, challenges like preaching, challenges like a festival organization, you know worshipping the deity, or taking departments like Food for Life, or taking Harinam Sankirtan. Everybody should have some challenge, some lead service one should take and bring many, many more people. Then only there is thrill and opportunity. Other life would be boring. Sometimes what happens, I don't know how many of you are living like a nuclear family, because the joint family system got collapsed long ago, correct? No? It's no more. So many husband is living with wife and maybe one or two children, and their parents are not with them. How many of your parents are not with you? They're a little away. How many? Yeah, it's a good number of you, correct? Yeah. In those days, father, mother will also be there together, correct? No? But nowadays, many times there are problems if parents are with the boy. The wife sometimes feels a little fearful and insecure sometimes, in some cases. And that's one of the reasons why, even in the same city, sometimes parents live here and the boy and his wife and children, they live little away. They don't live very near. And the son goes to both places, takes care of parents also, takes care of wife. Staying. Like I went to one house in Pune, one man said, Prabhuji, now we are a joint family. He said, we are 4 brothers, joint family. And he took me in his car and said, we are joint, but we live in separate houses, he said. He said, we have made 2 houses here, 2 houses here. And in our own house, we have cooking everything, but we meet each other regularly because we are next to each other. But he said, before this, 10 years ago, we had only one house in which everyone lived. Now that's little difficult now. People have different tastes to eat. They have behaviors also. So it's difficult. So you will see that if you are a nuclear family, husband is going to see the wife, wife is going to see the husband very frequently. So due to the vicinity, many times quarrels can come. Huh? Because sometimes you think, like we say, no, men are from Mars, women are from Venus. So they think differently. Men think more logically and women think more creatively. Because of that type of thinking, if you are going to have too much time with each other in the same home, under the same roof, many times counselors have so much difficulty to keep the husband wife together. I'm telling you, it's not an exaggeration. Many times it becomes very difficult. They try to tell them, you try to see some good qualities in your wife, you see some good qualities in your husband. In outside world is very dangerous. Try to stay. And many counselors come and tell me, Prabhuji, somehow Gadi is going on now. But on the other hand, if they go out to preach, go out to preach, distribute books, and do some service in the mission, go to the temple and do, then what happens? She will get her friends, and he will get his friends. And they both will have something very nice to come and tell each other. One real example I'll tell you. One boy got job in Pune, one of the NIT boys got job in Pune. He got a job in Hinjawadi. So he asked me, Prabhuji, should I purchase a house in Hinjawadi? In those days, Mansar Prabhu's program was not there in those days. So should I buy a house there or should I buy a house near NVCC? So I told him, don't buy house anywhere. Just take a rented house, stay there near the company for 6 months. Stay near NVCC for 6 months. And then you decide whichever one you want to do. So first he stayed 6 months near Hinjawadi company and was very happy. Company was at a stone's throw. He could easily walk down. And then 6 months later, he said, Prabhuji, now you told, as you told, now I'm going to try staying here. He took one rented house near NVCC. And within 3 months of staying there, he purchased a house in NVCC without even asking me. So later on, he met me and told me, Prabhuji, now I didn't have to wait for 6 months. He said, I asked why. Prabhu, when I was staying in Hinjawadi, I would quickly come home in the evening and quickly get caught in the problems. Because, my wife will have so many issues to discuss, and mother has so many issues, and father has so many issues at home. My head was spinning every day. Whatever trouble I didn't get from the boss, I have to get at home. He was telling. But here, when I came in NVCC, I have to travel almost 45 minutes by car. up, 40 minutes car back down. But when I come home, nobody's at home. My father has his network of senior citizens, Vanaprastha. Similarly, mother has her friends. And my wife has a lot of seva in the temple with other ladies. She has friends. And many times when I come home, there is no one at home. When I come home, I am quite free. And even when they come, a very nice tiffin is waiting for me. I eat. And they have no issues with me because their problems are easily solved with their own circle of friends. He was telling. And then he told me, Prabhu, I cannot explain to you enough how much shelter is this temple for my whole family. Mother, father, everybody has their network of friends now. They have seva, they have friends, they have programs, their own age bracket, they have programs. I'm so happy, he was telling. Therefore, Prabhuji, I didn't even have to ask you to purchase the house because I have realization that I can be happy here. He was telling. Similarly, you should have some service challenges and you should offer opportunity to your wife, children to get association of devotees of their age bracket. Correct, no? By doing so, they will be peaceful and you can be peaceful. So, this Priti-lakshanam is formed by some of these things. There are many more things I have not added here. Look at our Gopinath Acharya and Sarvama Bhattacharya. How that Priti-lakshanam happened? Hmm? Because Gopinath Acharya introduced him to Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, correct, no? He was brother-in-law, both of them. Although they appear to be quarreling, but eventually you saw that the relationship is very, very thick. You can see that. That means, when Sarvabhauma Bhattacharya saw that because of my brother-in-law, I became introduced to Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, he became extremely grateful to him. Similarly, you bring people to Krishna consciousness, they are extremely grateful to you, and the relationship develops very thick. So there are many, many items in Preeti Lakshanam. Some of it I took today and we explained. Let us take one or two questions. It's getting late also for all of you. Anybody want to say anything, any of you? Yes. Give the mic to... give the mic to you.
Hare Krishna, Prabhuji. Dandavatana. Prabhuji, I have analyzed in myself that taking a fixed service has been a challenge over the years. Maybe I want to just check what is that. Is it sometimes my schedules, some days are free, some days this one. So one thing is I can work on this one, but I was also checking, is there an attitude issue why I'm not taking a fixed service? That what are the
actually, your job, nature of your job is highly changing, or is it like the nature of job is fixed almost?
means
Like, for example, if you are in charge of sales of entire Asia, for example, you have to travel across entire Asia. People do travel like that.
Correct.
Then you have different days, different places travel, and you can't take any fixed service locally in Bangalore. But you are a Bangalore-based man, and you are also in tuition, this thing. So, and your holidays are also fixed, or they are not fixed?
to some extent,
Some they are fixed, yeah. Occasionally there may be some change, exceptionally change. That is all right. So then you can consider taking up some very solid fixed service in discussion with Swarnagarai Prabhu. What you can take. One important thing, Swarnagarai Prabhu, those who are temple leaders, they have a big responsibility of sitting with the pad and pen and thinking deeply. What are all the various departments that can be started and who can be given service and who has what talent? This I personally did in Pune in the early days. And later on, now we have formed teams and all. Because if temple is not able to generate services and also award services, then many grihasthas will say that, you go to temple, just take darshan and come, and there is nothing much to do there, they will say. So there has to be, therefore today morning I was speaking also to the board that we should have a congregation service board, where in Pune we have like 300-400 services we have. And you can pick and choose. And in fact, we go counselor group to counselor group and ask, we want help in these different services. Just like you see, yeah, some big temples, they have a method of getting some form filled up with the talents of their people and then connecting them to a service. But there are certain services which go without saying, like book distribution, Haranam Sankirtan, prasadam distribution, or preaching to newcomers, you know, or youth preaching and things like that. But when you are all a budding temple, blossoming temple, you can meet one on one with him and see the various possibilities. And we can begin with 2 hours per week. Uh, it's a very not very challenging thing. And then one can think of 4 hours per week, 6 hours. There are some people who do 8-10 hours per week also service. But every grasta should have some identifiable service. Both Prabhuji and Mataji should have something. In case they have a small budding baby, a mother cannot do service. And we shouldn't expect also. But if the child is going to school, then she also can consider conducting some class for the children in the same housing colony. Similarly, and Prabhuji also, because if you don't have service, you cannot have the bliss. There'll be no experience of spiritual bliss. Like I am traveling every 2 days, 3 days, I stay in one place and I go to different places. In a day, I have 4-5 lectures. And it has become a habit everywhere. And I get to meet new people, solve their problems. So if our life is centered around doing some selfless service for others' sake and grooming others and growing, the more we do that, the more we can experience inner fulfillment, inner joy. Otherwise, solving our own problems, our head gets heavy with problem solving. So Swarnagara Prabhu, Swayam Prakash Prabhu, all these devotees are locally available. No. And it is my humble request to all of you, you consider this temple to be your temple. Have some ownership. Like Krishna Kishore Prabhu, for example, is a part of the FinCom. He and the other people, they feel this is our temple. We have built it, and our Guru Maharaj has given us a place in Pune, and we have to bring the money, we have to run the temple. Some kind of mamata should be there. If you think, okay, those are temple people are running it and we are outside, this is my home, if you think like that, then there's no mamata there. So this temple is a beautiful temple now. They have the old building available for seminars and training and all. And the new temple hall is so beautiful. They are increasing the facilities now more and more, making it better and better. So it's such a gift that you all received recently. Radha Vinod, so beautiful. Jagannath Subhadra and Gaur Nitai. Any company going man, you bring him and make him sit and teach him chanting. This temple is a soothing atmosphere here. Apart from that, in my opinion, every one of you sitting here, you can run your own Bhakti Vriksha program. Weekly once, where 20 to 30 families you can cultivate. And then when they become grown up, you become a counselor. Here they may call the name mentor or something, whatever name they want to call. You just become like a caregiver. Every one of you. If you do that, like Shankar Pandit and Yugal Prem Mataji, they have almost a total of 200-250 people they are guiding. Both in Bangalore also and in Pune also. Very mature. And now they did a big drama, that recently they did one drama with 80-100 people. Yugaleshwar Prabhu and Yugal Prem Mataji and Shankar Prabhu were the director. Shankar Prabhu acted as a Narasimhadev. The drama. Very, very. Now everybody is demanding, put the drama again. They want to watch it. So recently they put up. They take almost 2-3 yatras also in a year. And Mataji has a Stritva. There is a training program for many ladies, 200 ladies. And Prabhuji Shankar Pandit Prabhu is doing his part. Both of them send separate report to me. And when they send the report, I will have to spend 4 hours to go through the report and give my replies like that. Very exhaustive report they send. So you have many, many wonderful examples. Narahari Chaitanya Prabhu himself is a good example. Because, if this one gentleman did not come to this area and build this temple, how can so many grihasthas get shelter? Correct, no? So he has taken that lead, which deserves a great appreciation. And he has a very good committee of people like Sundarup Sham Prabhu and many others also. What is his name you said? Our Mathura Sham Prabhu. What gem-like devotees. And they wanted brahmacharis we have sent from Pune. Now, how many? 6 brahmacharis are there now? We have 6 brahmacharis also. Actually, in our spiritual life, we can go on like this without making any major changes in our life. We can just go like this over the years, pass through the time, and things will not develop much. But basic things will go on. No ISKCON temple is shut down. Huh? Once you open it, it goes on. But if all of you do your part in a more serious manner, then not only you will bring more people to the movement, you will also blossom in your consciousness and in your spiritual evolution. You will grow. Huh? Ultimately, it is relationship between you and your guru. Who am I to come and say all these things? I am just an intermediate man. You have taken diksha from a guru, and you have a relation to a guru and to Prabhupada. And we people are simply here to facilitate that. And like Mahavir Prabhu, we know him from the days in Suratkal. Very, very loyally has done so much services. Now he's Pondicherry, working in Ireland. Now, if he preaches and he brings some group of students and makes them into devotees, just like many of our tuition students people are doing. There is one Yogesh Prajapati in Raurkela. He started with 100, 200. Now he has 900 students now. And he's going to start a school also now. And from his institute, last time 12 people joined our Raurkela. And the 12 boys, the first year only they came into our center, NIT Raurkela Center. So it's called Remuna Voice. First year because they were already joining 8 rounds in the tuition days only. So he's doing like that, very good preaching. So like that nowadays, many of our, there is one, Gopal Leela Prabhu in Nagpur. He's preaching. He's also preaching tuition students, making a lot of devotees now. So every one of you in your situation, you should see how I can contribute to Prabhupada's mission. And Prabhupada said, I'm one old man, how much can I do? He asked. Now you all are young people, you can do so much good. And if you keep your life spiritually very vibrant, it is good for you, it's good for the world, it's good for ISKCON, good for everybody. As I told you, if we keep on reading more books, sharing more lectures, and just chanting and taking care of ourselves, then we may not be able to contribute much to others. Sometimes neither happens. Sometimes Janma Satakuri also doesn't happen. Karo Paropkar also doesn't happen. Then something mediocre is happening. Just fulfilling the worldly duties. So we all have to. I'm not saying that you're all not doing enough. In fact, he tells me also, that each of you have something. You are doing your part. But in my understanding, you all are not ordinary people. Everyone sitting here today in this assembly, very, very powerful. You can run one temple in my estimation. There are many ISKCON temples in my travels. They say, Prabhuji, give us one president. We have everything else. We have money, we have people, we have kitchen, we have resources. I will tell you one temple in America when I was traveling. They say every Sunday, their Sunday program is between 11 to 12:30, and 12:30 they have Gaurarti and then Prasad. What do they do, you think? They have 150 people coming. They just read from Leelamrit, that's all. They just sit in the hall, 150 people, just read Leelamrit. Then I asked that leader, if this reading even they can do at home, no? Somebody should sit and speak. He says, none of us are confident, he says. We have not been trained to speak. Many of us are initiated, but we cannot speak. But I was just thinking of all of you. If one of you were there, probably, you would be ecstatic to give every Sunday. If you are made to give lecture, you can go for hours, isn't it? So much you have practiced it. Actually, at the moment, America is in one very crucial situation where many proper disciples are leaving now one by one. Huh? So many temples they are very old, 75 or 80. I am going to 10 places in America: Boston, Brooklyn, Baltimore, Dallas, Austin, Houston, and San Jose, and Seattle, and also Columbus and Pittsburgh also. So in all these places, one of my first goal is, there are 3 types of audiences we get: A, B, C. A for Americans, B for born in America to Indians, and C is coming from India for job or studying. Correct, no? So currently we are focusing on C, because C category is like all of you. Yeah. If any of you is going to America, you're coming from India for studies or job. So I'm focusing on them. Already we have made 25, 20, 30 boys in Boston and Brooklyn already. We have an active Bhaktivedanta Youth Services Center, Boston and Brooklyn, and also Dallas also, 3 places. Other places slowly budding now. Goal is make 25, 16 rounders Between 21 to 28, they are single. They are not married, correct? No? They stay in the temple or near the temple and do a lot of, they take off the physical heavy burden and burden some services from Prabhupada disciples. And then they can help. That's the main goal. And also put up the morning program, evening put up the book table and welcome the visitors, give some laddu or something, talk to them. So many of the voice boys are coming from India. It's a big boon for America. Some of the boys are coming nowadays. And by that, the temples are so grateful. Wherever I travel, people tell me, Priti, one of your voice boys is here. My Lord. He's so capable. We can even make him temple president, they say. He's so intelligent. He gives lectures. He does everything. Sing one man show, he does everything. But going from India to America was not very easy. Many colleges are very costly there. They have to spend 80 lakhs, 60 lakhs for the course. Some fathers are selling the house and sending son to America so that he will earn a lot of money and buy the house back later on. Now you may not be able to go to America. You have a family here, but you can make some nice devotees and send them to America. I'll be grateful to you. Send some of the boys from here to America. Then that is as good as you coming. Correct or not? If you're making each of you send me two boys to America and say, Prabhuji, we cannot come. We have wife, children, family here. We have decided to settle in Bangalore only. But we can send the boys to America. I will be very grateful because currently in all those places, I am badly in need of support. And also because we don't have this nicely trained boys there. Training the new boys, it takes time. Correct, no? My goal is to see that before Prabhupada disciples disappear, some of these boys should interview them and take some notes and videos and everything should be made. Next 4-5 years is very, very crucial. So, Swarnagaurari Prabhu is very mild natured. Swam Prakash Prabhu is like, both of them are like Kamadhenu cows. Once I was telling this. So, very soft natured. He may not speak the way that I spoke today. Correct, no? He has a different style. But that is in one sense advantage for you. So he is not going to chase after you. But depending on how much you are ready to come forward and be a part of this mission of Prabhupada here. Otherwise, what's the point in building a temple? Correct, no? We have a beautiful temple now, but the temple will be just empty. People come on Sunday like a church. Other day, Monday to Saturday, if the temple is sleeping, then what's the use? If you want to make the temple vibrant, different devotees, you preach and bring people and you all can give even ideas. You can even think of doing one thing so that we can make one group here, 8 or 10 of them, who can think about how this temple can be made a very, very happening temple. Correct, no? They can give ideas also. In Pune, initially committees were outside the temple. Eventually they came into the temple also and did a lot of, like we have FinCom, we have CSB, Congregation Service Board, Congregation Preaching Board, Congregation Care Board, all are run by congregation. Revati Prabhu just goes to facilitate the meetings. They only plan, they only execute. Right, no? Yes. Now you can tell that. Yeah, you can tell. Take the mic.